Technology has made our lives easier. It has recreated old systems, opened the gates for entrepreneurs and created new industries. But most of all, it allows us to stay connected with the ones we love. But with the good comes the bad. In 2020, 61% of the global population owns a smartphone. In the US, 96% of the population own a smartphone. The average person spends upwards of 5 hours a day on their device. We find ourselves glued to our phones and addicted to technology. Now, the word addiction is a strong word, but it's clear that this topic needs to be talked about. How many times per hour do you check your phone? Is it 4? Is it 10? Or even more? When you lose your phone, do you feel anxious and restless? This is something that I've found over the years, and I've become more and more dependent on my phone. But instead of rejecting technology altogether, what I wanted to do is explore the ways that we can use our phones without it having a negative impact on our lives. Here are 4 effective strategies that have made a difference in my life, and I think may be able to help you. Let's start nice and easy. The first thing I did was turn off all of my notifications. Notifications are dangerous, with the constant pings and buzzes going off throughout the day. When we get a new notification, it is easy to pick up our phones without realizing it. I would get a new notification that someone had sent me a message on Instagram. I would open up my phone to reply to that message and I'd end up clicking on their profile. I'd start to look at their post and they'd tag someone in that post, and then I'd click on that person's profile and I'd spend time there. And then I found myself in the social media rabbit hole. And 35 minutes would go past where I would be on random Instagram pages with no idea how I got there. So I turned off all of my phone notifications, so now I only get 2 a day if I'm lucky. The only notifications that still come through are phone calls, texts, and my alarm. If I'm not using my phone, or if I'm not expecting a call, I'll put it on silent, flip it over, and push it aside. And what that does is make sure that it's not a distraction for me during the day. The second thing I did was I actually bought a watch. Now, one of the main reasons I check my phone is to check the time. You know, I've got meetings and I've got places I need to go to, so I'd constantly check my phone throughout the day. And as soon as that would happen, I'd see a notification and the rabbit hole would begin again. I simply fixed this by purchasing a watch. So now whenever I need to check the time, I use my watch. Now, as you can see, I have removed the majority of apps on my phone. I took a sort of minimalistic approach, so there are a lot less things to distract me. One thing you'll notice is that my phone is in black and white. So the third thing I did was turn my phone to Grayscale. So you can put your phone in Grayscale mode on both Apple and Android. On Apple, simply search color filters and change it to black and white. Android, on the other hand, is a lot harder, so I'll link a useful tutorial in the description below. Changing your phone to black and white can have a huge impact on how you view your phone. When you're looking through your apps or you're scrolling through Instagram, things just aren't as interesting. Things just don't pop out they would if it was in color. Putting my phone into black and white was super powerful for me, because after scrolling around for a little bit, I'd just lose interest and go and do something else that didn't involve my phone. The last thing I did was delete social media from my phone. Now, this is drastic, and this is why I left this one till the end. What I wanted to do was create enough friction to make it hard for me to go into my phone and check social media. So by deleting them, whenever I actually want to check social media, I have to use my laptop. This doesn't sound like a big roadblock, but if your laptop is switched off or in another room, it suddenly becomes less desirable to check your social media. If you really want to break your phone addiction, the best thing you can do is delete social media from your phone. Now, I've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, and already I have found some huge benefits. My productivity has spiked, and I now find that I get a lot more done during the day. I think one of the main things that it's actually helped me with is just to become more social, just to have better conversations with people and build those genuine connections. There have been so many times where I've been out and I've seen people on a date, and all they're doing is just sitting there on their phones. Instead of having a real conversation and making eye contact, they're sitting there texting or scrolling through social media. Now, technology has definitely made a huge positive impact on our lives, but has also brought about negative impacts. By being more mindful about how we use our phones, we can actually reduce stress and just slow down instead of having that feeling of just rushing from one thing to the next. My challenge to you is just to pick a couple of these strategies, give them a try, and let me know how they go. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you like these videos in general, consider subscribing. That's me for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.